Good day, I am Hunter Robbins, and welcome to Holy Carp. Today we will discuss the aquatic invasive species Asian carp. We will talk about the threats to aquatic biodiversity, human health, and the economy of the Great Lakes region. Asian carp are threatening our Great Lakes. What makes the carp invasive? How did it get into our waterways? Can the spread of carp be controlled? Can it be eradicated? Our goal is to answer these questions to better understand the Asian carp. First, let's define invasive species. It's a non-native animal or plant. It can be aquatic or terrestrial, which enters a new environment, becomes established, and spreads uncontrollably. The Asian carp is an AIS, aquatic invasive species. The Asian carp was imported into the southern United States to keep aquaculture facilities clean. Because it is a filter feeder, and by feasting on plankton, it kept the aquaculture facilities clean. Aquaculture activities can lead to algae blooms, and algae blooms can grow out of control, release toxins, and kill marine life. So, Asian carp were introduced as an eco-friendly method to control it. Bighead and silver carp were imported from China, bighead in 1972 and silver in 1973. Flooding allowed the carp to escape into the Mississippi River basin and quickly spread upstream. By 1980, carp were captured in the wild by fishers in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Kentucky. Asian carp require long rivers for successful reproduction. This explains why it is successful. The Mississippi River is the longest river in the country. The long river allows time for eggs to develop while suspended in a water column. Asian carp releases its eggs into the water column, and as the eggs float downstream, they develop. Abiotic factors such as increase in depth, turbulence, flow, and water temperature stimulate spawning, and these conditions are needed for early egg development. 17 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius is perfect temperature for this to occur. Floodplains are also needed for larval and juvenile development. Fecundity increases with age and body weight. Bighead carp females can produce 1 million eggs and silver carp 2 million eggs per year. All species of Asian carp reach sexual maturity sooner in warm water. Bighead, 2 years for males and 3 for females. Silver, 3 years for males and 4 for females. Bighead grows more rapidly than silver carp and can reach 40 to 50 pounds in 5 years. It has been known to reach 90 pounds and live for 9 years. Silver can reach 35 to 40 pounds in 5 years, reach 110 pounds, and live for 20 years. Because Asian carp can breed so quickly, it can take over lake and river habitats. It pushes out native species because it outcompetes other fish for food and space. Also, the carp lowers water quality, which can kill off sensitive organisms like native freshwater mussels. Between 1994 and 1997, the commercial harvest of bighead carp increased from 5.5 tons to 55 tons within 3 years in the Mississippi River basin. Carp can eat 20% of its body weight in plankton, algae, and other microscopic organisms each day. All this means is that The carp will outcompete native fish because of the dietary overlap. In fall 1999, an investigation of a fish kill in off-channel waters of the National Wildlife Refuge near St. Louis documented that Asian carp made up 97% of the biomass. Without a natural predator, the fish community in that area consists of almost nothing but carp. However, the Asian carp native range is China's freshwater ecosystem. There, the carp has a natural predators. Larger catfish and freshwater dolphins feed on the carp, and the Asian population consumes it. Carp has been a popular food in Asia for thousands of years. China consumes 65 million tons of fish a year, with carp being the most popular dish. However, back in the Midwest, Asian carp is a threat to the Great Lakes, which makes it a human health threat, economic threat, and biodiversity threat. The silver carp is dangerous to humans. It can reach up to 100 pounds or more and leap 10 to 15 feet out of the water. The sound of a boat motor startles the fish, and they leap out of the water, landing in boats, breaking fishing rods, windshields, electronics, basically damaging anything in your boat and injuring people. Being hit by an Asian carp is like being hit with a bowling ball. Aquatic activities have grown dangerous. In 2004, a jet skier nearly died after she was knocked unconscious by flying carp near Peoria, Illinois. Boaters hit by carp leaping out of the water have suffered a broken jaw, nose, or ribs, for example. The Great Lakes provide drinking water for 40 million people and are a rich tourist draw. The high abundance and large geographic range of the carp is affecting the tourism dollar. The commercial and sport fish industry is an estimated $7 billion in direct economic impact and $23 billion in total economic activity. The Asian carp is a direct threat to the Great Lakes economy. If Asian carp invade Lake Michigan, it will potentially destroy a $23 billion industry. The commercial fishing industry depends heavily on the health and ecological state of the Great Lakes. Small prey fish of commercially fished species would be impacted through direct consumption by Asian carp. Increased competition for food resources with young and mature native species will lead to a decrease in revenue. The commercial value of a carp is low and much less valuable than the native fish replaced. The decrease in revenue would in turn reduce the level of gross profit. So many commercial fishermen have abandoned sites like the Illinois River for this reason alone. Asian carp has the ability to eat 20% of its body weight in plankton. It has voraciously stripped the food web of its key source of nutrients. Native species such as bass, crappie, and catfish have been displaced. Carp can tolerate the Great Lakes Basin's climate. Temperature ranges from the big head is -2 to -22 degrees Celsius. Silver is -6 to -24 degrees Celsius. This temperature spread would support a carp population in US and Canada. Ways to stop the carp include poisoning, trapping, shooting, blocking with electrical fences that are already in use, blocking Asian carp from entering the Great Lakes permanently, Politicians and environmentalists believe access to Lake Michigan should be blocked by closing the locks. Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Ohio, and Pennsylvania agreed to blocking Lake Michigan permanently. Illinois does not agree. Illinois believes that a permanent block could disrupt shipping and potentially increase the price of goods. Closing the canal would seal off the only available passageway from the Mississippi River to the Great Lakes, but Asian carp is very close to reaching Lake Michigan. The permanent block is an $18 billion 25-year program proposed by the Army Corps of Engineers. What is keeping the carp from eventually entering the Great Lakes within the next 25 years? Many are skeptical if this will actually work. Or, let them eat carp. Carp is said to taste like tilapia. It is a flaky white meat fish that is low in fat and mercury and high in omega-3. Fillet of carp can cost up to $15 a pound. Dirk's Fish and Gourmet Shop in Chicago features wild-caught carp on the menu. The Illinois Department of Natural Resources has a new strategy to promote carp as table fare. The idea of eating carp is not appealing to Americans. Americans eating carp would be a step in curbing its spread. The goal is to normalize carp as a fish to consume in the States. This would be a huge step to getting more commercial fishermen to target carp. The demand for carp is high in China. It has been an important food in Chinese culture for centuries. With Asian carp at our waterfront, within 20 miles of the electric barrier that is in place today, will Asian carp invade Lake Michigan? Asian carp is non-native to U.S. aquatic ecosystems. Because of its eating habits, rate of reproduction, and wide range of temperature adaptability, the carp outcompetes other fish for food and space. The lack of action and having no natural predators, the Asian carp population goes unchecked, and I believe it is inevitable it'll reach Lake Michigan. This is Hunter Robbins, and thank you for listening.